Hello there. I am Bryant Cook, and you're watching a Legacy League video. This is the first real list I am testing with Luris of the Dream Den. I've played a couple other leagues with Luris, and this is what I'm trying. So, I've recently been running a new mana base that has 14 lands, 2 green sources, 3 mountains. It's actually a beautiful mana base. So, you have 3 black sources, 3 blue sources, 3 red sources for pulverize, and then you have 2 green sources. So there's no main deck Chain of Vapor. That's how we made this work. The rest of the deck is the same, but our green sources have changed. It's no longer Bayou. Instead, we're running Taiga and Trop. And this works much better, in my opinion, because Underground Sea plus Taiga gives you all 4 colors that can cast Abrupt Decay, and then Tropical Island and Badlands gives you all 4 colors. Uh, and once again, you can cast Abrupt Decay. So our dual lands pair much nicer than they have in the past. Pulverize is a lot more reliable against decks like Eldrazi, for example, or 4 color Loam. We're back to playing Crash. We have that extra red source. It works pretty well again. Still have 2 Carpet of Flowers. We're trying Hope of Europe again due to our new best friend, Luris of the Dream Den. Luris is a companion card. I don't know how to make this hover. I don't know. You can go to Google. Google it. It allows you to cast a permanent with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard every single turn. And then we can't run anything in our deck that's a permanent with mana cost 2 or higher, but we already don't do that, so it doesn't matter. It's a 3/2 life linker, so your life total gets above 20 for ad nauseum sometimes, which is pretty amazing. But with Luris and Hope, your companion is essentially an EDH general or commander, and you can cast it at any time. But you can only cast it once, and then it goes to the graveyard once it's died or countered or whatever. But with Hope of Europe, you end up creating a lock where your opponent can't cast spells, which is pretty good, at least on their turn. And yeah, this is the list. It doesn't really have a deck number yet. I'm trying plenty of things out. If you haven't noticed, the next deck number is 10.0. I want to make that one count. So for right now, I'm just listing everything as 0.0 until I find a Luris list that I really like. And then that can be 10.0. The first 10.0 list will be Luris, which is kind of cool. But we're going to jump right in. Pretty excited. And before we actually start our match, if you appreciate the content that you're watching and you want to show your support for me recording a league with Luris, head over to theepicstorm.com/shop and show your appreciation. All right, so we have finally found. Sorry, I moved my mic. I realized that it was hanging really high and it probably wasn't in a good spot. So we finally found an opponent. That took quite a bit of time. All right, so the first thing you do is you select your. Well, if you're on the play, you would click yes, I want to be on the play, and then you select your companion, not commander or general, companion, and then you click OK. Our opponent did not reveal one. We did, and our companion will get a little heart right here, so that way we know to cast it. But this hand is stacked. We're definitely going to keep this. Once upon a time. Hopefully depths and not Eldrazi. Alright, so we're not casting our Lurrus on turn 1 anymore. So this is depths. Alright. So normally I would have played out my companion on turn 1. But I guess instead we can cast this claw. Yeah, we'll just pass. There's no reason to play out the Lurrus. Alright, so they're threatening a turn 2 kill. Any mana source right here that isn't a land will kill them. Alright, so that was a land. I think we're supposed to cast Brainstorm. Opal's okay. I mean, at worst we could Echo, but I really don't want to have to do that. So we're going to ponder off this one because we can get one more look with Brainstorm for a Lion's Eye Diamond. Does that do anything? I think it might. So our opponent, in theory, can sacrifice their Hex Mage and take counters off of the Talisman. But they're dead, so it doesn't matter. Now we get Dark Ritual. It took us a creative line of getting there, but we did it. Alright, we just need to not die to our own ad nause. Getting pretty low on life. We don't want this to turn into a sad nauseum. This will do. Bullet? I think we're actually short. I didn't realize this, but we can't make black and red mana. Well, maybe I can play Olurus, I guess. That's something I did not consider. Just trying to figure out the best way of doing this. Probably should have kept flipping. crap. What to do? This is actually really tough. We're pretty far away from grape shot. Yeah, I made a mistake. I should have checked to see if we had another red or black card to imprint. I just assumed that we did, being at 6 life. So in theory, we could ritual play Luris, get back a Lion's Eye Diamond, but that doesn't do anything. We could play Chromox, imprint like Veil of Summer, ritual play Claw, discard our hand, play Luris, bring it back, but like that doesn't really do anything either. Like all that does is create Storm, which is cool, but it doesn't really help us that much. And then in the middle of it, our opponent could sack their um, Hex Mage. Hmm. I should have kept flipping. The question is, do I want to risk our opponent sacking? Hmm. I don't think the storm count's worth it. I'm just going to activate. I'm a little disappointed in myself for not realizing. Now our opponent has 2 claws. We have to decide what the best mana to float is too, and I think it's probably blue in case we have brainstorm or ponder. I should have kept flipping. Oh, why didn't I flip black? That would be lethal. Alright, so we can play both Lion's Eye Diamonds. And I was thinking about floating black too. I just figured. So I floated blue because we already have 2 tutors out of our deck, and I figured we might need a cantrip into it. Oh, that's the Adnos. And if we play Cat, we'll have 4 mana left over, 2 after we play Talisman. That doesn't do anything. It's a shame. I think I threw that game away. Alright, so we don't need defense grids. Those can come out. Chain's okay. Hopes can answer oofs. Probably just shave on a veil. And I don't want to board in a win condition. I'm not going to. But while you're over at theepicstorm.com/shop, make sure to check out our token pack. Reveal our companion. Mulligan. This hand's close, but we have to ship it. To 5. These are not a good 5 cards. Would I feel better about 4? I'm going to risk it. Turn 1 Echo. Oh, it is turn 1 Echo. It was so close to Adnos. Alright, no Leyline is a good sign. So something to keep in mind is that post-board, our opponent can have Surgical. I don't really want to play out the Claw into Surgical, or play out the Lurrus into Surgical if I don't have to. I know it creates free Storm, but it's a little risky. That was a very early Surgical. Now I wonder if I should play out the Lurrus. Well, I guess it's free if we don't want to filter mana. No, I think it's the same actually. There's like very little reason to not do it, I guess. Well, I guess they could Surgical the Echo. That's the big thing. But they've already burned 1 Surgical. If they have 2, congratulations. Oh, they have 2? Wait, they hit Petal. Wow. Okay. This is ridiculous. Maybe they misclicked? I don't know. We got away with murder right there, though. Makes up for our game 1. Alright, Storm is 8. We have 4 mana, which is not enough. So I'm going to brainstorm here. If we hit Lion's Eye Diamond, we have lethal. We did not hit Lion's Eye Diamond. Come on, Diamond. Nope. Okay. I'm going to pass holding up my Veil. That's why I got Taya. Because it both represents having Veil up and the red source for Burning Wish. Alright, so we get to go above 20 now, which takes us out of Merit Lodge range, so they'll have to attack us twice. If we manage to win this one, it definitely makes up for our game 1. Are they considering surgicaling a cantrip or something, or veil? Sure. Name Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, Lightning Storm. That's not a legacy card. You know better than that. You also saw my deck twice. They must be a modern player. I think that's probably fine. Maybe I was supposed to get Badlands there. I was thinking a little too quickly. Um, I think I'm going to get Grape Shot with this. I think our plan is to just lure a Grape Shot. Uh-oh. Well, that's a combo. Maybe I should have gone Tendrils. I was a little bit worried about, what's it called? Veil Summer. The card I'm about to cast. That's how you know you're getting old. Lion's Eye Diamond. Hmm. Well, there's the diamond. But now what? So we have Storm 1. We can go Storm 2, Rite of Flame. Storm 3, Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm 4, Burning Wish. Storm 5, Tendrils. Alright. If this is ESG Veil, we're in trouble. All right, game three. One on a mold of four after some extremely weird luck. I used to board in Hope to block Mirage, but ever since Oof, I feel like I'm supposed to be boarding in permanent based answers, and I don't know if I want to board out Veils. Hand's a little bit clunky, but it's good against discard spells, which is why I like it. Alright, no discard spells, good. Ritual is a good draw. We just need to not die. Okay, is this a Merit Lodge? It is. Alright, so we need to hit a mana off this Brainstorm that is not a land. So a Rite of Flame, a Lotus Petal, yeah, another Dark Ritual. Another Dark Ritual. So we do lose the Mindbreak Trap here, but we can't play around it, so there's no point in trying to. Good news. Opal. That one. If they surgical here, we can just Dark Ritual in response, and Force of Vigor doesn't matter. Okay then. So we ended up getting that match. All right, a little bit of luck. Something goes a long way. All right, so we're in queue. Once again, if you like how lucky we got and barely playing any Luris, you can head over to theepicstorm.com/shop. Okay, so we did not win the die roll again. It's a Luris mirror match. They're probably on Luris Delver I guess. But our hand is not very good. So we're going to be shipping ours. It's pretty good. Probably tuck the C. Maybe the right. Yeah, I think it's probably the right of flame. Ponder's a decent pickup. It's probably a trap to play Luris. I'm just going to pass. Good draw. Now we just need a Wish Claw. All right, so I'm going to get. This wants to get Taiga, so I guess it's Volk with this. Hmm. If our opponent plays another Thoughtseize, it's almost like not super relevant to. I'm gonna hide the wish on top. I think. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I left wish on top because I don't want to lose to Thoughtseize Days. Sorry about that. All right, so we have a pretty good window here. I think we might have a natural line. Now if we cast Infernal Tutor, add 3 black, Burning Wish Tendrils is lethal. Okay, so we got game 1 against Grixis Delver. Alright, so we want the carpets, we want decay. This is what I've been trying. And once again, sorry, hitting puberty there. Uh, if you want to show your support, we only have about 30 of the original token packs left. So if you're interested, this would be the time to buy them. Like I said, we only have about 30 of them left. So make sure to get your original token pack. Once these are gone, there will not be tokens like it printed again. So what's left is left. Make sure to get yours. Keep. I do not sideboard in Hope against these sort of decks. They have Lightning Bolt and Flyers, and Hope is just isn't good against the Delver strategies. Get the basic Swamp here. Hopefully Claw resolves and then we can cast Ponder. Okay. They flip Ponder to their Delver. Another Wish is not what we wanted. Eating a Force isn't too bad, but we need to hit another artifact like a Lion's Eye Diamond would be really good right now. I mean, Lotus Petal would also be fine. We can get Trop with this. This looks like a Pyroblast. Yeah, I think we're supposed to try to slow them down a little. Did not shuffle off Ponder. Hmm. I'm doing all three because I don't want my spell to fizzle due to a spell pierce or a daze. Pretty much a light breeze would have stopped that from working. So might as well do all three. I think I'm just going to pass. Maybe cycle a veil if they play something. Force of Will. It's pretty good for them. Come on, Lines of Diamond. Force pitch daze. Okay. We're still in the same boat where if we hit Lion's Eye Diamond, we're very much in this, and if we don't hit Lion's Eye Diamond, we're probably dead. Would you look at that? Our opponent probably isn't very happy right now. Please force this. Force pitch force. Come on, Miracle. So we have to have them not draw a bolt, and we have to be able to beat their protection. So our new hand is actually very good. So now we need them to not have bolt, because we won't be able to beat that no matter what. Okay, so we have tendrils in the main. If this claw resolves, I think we have it. And we've defeated Grixis, Luris, Delver. Got a little bit lucky with that one. Won't pretend like we didn't. We drew Lion's Eye Diamond. Perfect moment. Data record. That's pretty cool. All right, so I've done this a few times, but we have the Eternal Glory podcast released a new episode. Today's Friday, so it released this morning. Make sure to check it out. It's on the Ikoria Spoilers. That's the Eternal Glory podcast with myself, Bryant Cook, Phil Gallagher, and Brian Koval. Okay, so we are on the play against Dan Deluxe 13. Last time I faced them, they were on Shadow, but I feel like they play something else. Maybe I'm wrong. This seems fine. I don't like it when the window pops open in and out repeatedly. What is that? I don't know what's going on. Empty doesn't seem very good against this. Well, it's still Shadow. The fact that they played Brainstorm and didn't hit a land concerns me a little bit. I feel like they might have a bunch of forces. Sure. Get dazed. Ooh, it resolved. Was not expecting that. This looks like Gurmag if I had to guess. And our opponent has had enough. Okay. Shadow. My approaching the shadows usually to like beef up a little bit and just like natural whatever them. Because like you don't really want to be drawing these cards against shadow. Scroll all the way down and try to find it. All right, so if you haven't already, make sure to follow, subscribe, whatever, like all of our social channels. All right. Solid. Opponent's going to 5 cards. Goodbye ad nauseum. There's no point in just casting lures for the sake of casting it. Our opponent wants a lower life total. We don't really want to help them get there. Is this a him? Yeah. Didn't want that to happen. Now I don't mind playing Laris. Because if they play a Death Shadow, we can just follow it up with Decay. Did not shuffle. We can replay the pedal for free on our turn, so this is the reason I'm allowing it to be discarded. Helping our opponent out by getting their life total low. We're really nice people. What's nice is I think the zombie fish is going to be on defense. Also, I like how we left in one Chromox and then we drew it. This is why I almost boarded out the 6 mana source, but I figured having an empty in the board for Burning Wish had a little bit more value. Because that could have been an empty, but I don't even know if empty's good there. What does this do? Our opponent has 1 card. It could be a denial. All right, so let's say we lead on Veil, and then we play Chromox. That's Storm 2. We cast Burning Wish in response to Cracked Diamond for 3 block. We get Infernal Tutor, replay Diamond, Tendrils. That's lethal. So our line loses if our opponent's last card is Surgical. Boom. Cool. 3-0. One thing to notice about those games is that Lurrus allowed us to get our opponent's life total low enough where the natural storm just got them, and that's like the sort of incremental advantage you get from having a companion. I have faced this person recently. I want to say they were on Eldrazi. In fact, I know they were on Eldrazi because I was in a group chat and we were memeing on how the user Teferi fan was playing Eldrazi. Unfortunately, we're on the draw. Whoops, didn't mean to open that. Those are Mac keyboard shortcuts, not PC. Yeah, they were on Eldrazi. Our opponent is mulliganed. They've gone to 5. Hmm. I wonder if they're still on Drowsy. Don't really need or want any of those. Alright, so they're on depths. Switched it up. The worst thing that could have happened that turn is if we drew ad nauseum, but thankfully we did not. That should do. Our opponent got tired of watching us cast spells, but it's what I'm here to do. Seems fine. I think Ritual is one of the best picks here, probably. It's an interesting decision. Alright, Dark Ritual off the top rope. Let's see it. Never lucky. We could spit out some goblins here. Let's say we imprint the decay. I don't hate it. Sadly, there's no way of us to what am I trying to say here? Like play Luris and empty. I was thinking about getting Badlands instead. And maybe Badlands is better. Yeah, Badlands might have been better. I was thinking in case I drew a blue source for like a cantrip or a chain of vapor. But I think playing Luris next turn, if we drew a land off the top that can't tap for black, is slightly better. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Because a Luris next turn would put us up above 20 for turn 3 in case they made a 2020 on turn 2. I guess it would be 2020 on their turn 3. I don't know. Comic stuff. We could have echoed there. Uh-oh, this is a Hex Mage. Chain of Vapor off the top rope. Alright, come on, Chain of Vapor. Womp. Alright, empty was not good enough. Gonna leave it as is. We would like to be on the play, and we would like to reveal our companion, Luris. This seems okay. Lead off on Delta because this gets C and then Catacombs gets Taiga. If we get through this turn without a discard spell, I'll be pretty happy. But I think it's fairly unlikely. Jeez. What do they have? So we technically lose to a surgical here. If it happens, it happens. I didn't want to board in a win condition. Gonna fetch preemptively. I am going to just show them the taiga. I don't think this is good enough. So the problem with keeping Burning Wish there is that our out to winning this game is Infernal Tutor, and getting Hellbent is a little bit of a challenge. Because we have the Veil, and then we would be drawing Ponder and possibly the Decay if we decided to um, cast the Veil. But it looks like we might just be dead here. So I create another Veil. I do think it was right to shuffle that, especially considering what happened. But we're going to need a really good draw right now. Claw off the top actually answers this cleanly. We did not hit it. So hypothetically, if we kept the Ponder, we could Ponder right now. We would have drawn Burning Wish Decay, but we'd be trying to Ponder into what? Because we can't win. We can't get Hellbent. I guess we could like mini tendrils to stay alive. But yeah, that didn't end up working out. Okay, that's whatever. We're 3-1. I still think it was right to shuffle that. Arkin. Won the die roll. Looks like we're in a lure standoff. This is fairly good. Alright, we just need to hit a land next turn. Storm 3. Come on, land. Ponder is not what we wanted. I'm going to pass. Womp womp. There goes our Burning Wish. Jeez. I don't think it's worth discarding our hand to just play a 3-2 that's going to get hit by Bolt. Alright, so whatever land we uh, get is going to get hit by Wasteland. Hmm. Maybe this is right to keep. Okay, so we're in an interesting spot here where we're going to fetch and cast Brainstorm. And we're pretty much just hoping for our Brainstorm to hit Echo. It did not. So if our opponent double bolts us and then attacks, it's 10 damage. Okay, this is our window deck. You have to hit it. That doesn't do it because we don't have a land drop. Yep. So you might be thinking like, well, Bryant, you can play Claw and then play Lurst, then replay Lines at Diamond. That doesn't change your mana. You're still a mana short. Ah, that was a heartbreaker. Needed a mana early, didn't hit it, and then flooded out a little bit on lands. All right. Well, this is taking a little bit. Let's run an ad. Okay, we're on the play. Wrong one. This hand's pretty good. Ideally, this ponder would find like land number 2 plus lotus petal. That's essentially what we want. Question is, are we going to play out our artifacts or not? So, if we do, we're missing out on an empty line. These decks are like playing 2 explosives anyway. I mean, that could be a reason to not play out your artifacts as engineer explosives, but we're going for it next turn anyway. I think it's probably better. Because this way we can veil a turn 1 Thoughtseize. You can look at my swamp. No force there. All right, got game number 2. Just gonna leave it as is for game 3. Can't keep that. Much better. No point in playing out the diamonds. As I mentioned in game 2, this deck plays 2 engineered explosives, and there's just no reason to allow them to get blown up. Sure. Gonna hold Ponder. There's no reason to just cast it in a Pyroblast. I'm gonna take the hit from Delver here. Our opponent could be holding a pillar, and I just don't want to lose the Pyrostatic Pillar instead of taking a damage. Probably going to Wasteland us up in our upkeep. We don't have another green source to fetch for with the Delta. And Oz was an interesting draw. Might as well let this get Pyroblasted, I guess. Do I want the Petal? I think I'm going to shuffle. Petal's not that valuable. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't think I want this Ponder to get dazed. There's no reason to play into daze. They decided to draw the non Instant Sorcery. And that's why you don't play out your diamonds. Claw is not a bad draw there. We can't fetch for a green source with this, but the ritual is really good. Force of Will, pretty good reveal. Really makes me wish I had a green source. Carpet would be adding 3 mana right now. Well, there's a carpet anyway. I'm going to feel like an idiot getting this daze, leaving them with force. But we're getting pretty low on life. Cinebraid. Yep. Alright, so we want to draw one of our 4 fetch lands for Taiga. Maybe that Thoughtseize is really good. So our opponent's on 2 cards now. What I'm wondering is if I'm supposed to kill the Dreadhorde or the Delver. It's a really interesting decision. Force pitch force. So that actually makes my decision pretty easy. I just decay the Dreadhorde now. And then I go to 7 on my turn. And then we're going to cast Ad Nauseam from 7 life. Hopefully it's good enough. Alright, so that's actually really good for us because that makes another mana. That's good. Please blow your E. So that's turn 5. Turn 6 would be Tendrils. That unfortunately does not win the game. Yeah, we have to flip. That might win the game. Alright, so 9 mana. That's what we have right here. So we have 3, 3, 3. So if I Burning Wish for a Rite of Flame, that's -1 mana, so that's 8, but it's +2 Storm. I think that does it. That's how we do. Alright, 4-1. We have completed the league. Like I said before, this is not a deck version deck list. This is just a list that I'm playing. Lurrus gives you a lot of game, as you saw there. Drew out a Force of Will. It doesn't get talked about enough, but Lurrus does a lot of incremental things very well. And it basically just gives you that tiny bit of an edge to beat out a lot of matchups. So in this game, it beat a Force. Against Depths, we were able to recycle an LED a couple times. Gains you life sometimes, so you can add. We didn't get to Ad Nauseam from above 20, but it's something I've done so far. Yeah, so Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.